Lakers postgame show.
Delivered by the new Spicy Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut. A fiery fusion with layers of flavor. Only at Pizza Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com.
Lakers basketball is a final.
Time to recap everything from Wednesday night at LA Live.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Big time comeback for the Lakers. They beat the Utah Jazz 106-101, the final score. We appreciate you guys being a part of the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. We'll take as many phone calls as we can. Everyone on the radio, everyone on social tonight. Just what a big win. And LeBron James finishing the night with 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Not having Anthony Davis to play with in the second half. We'll get a chance to hear from Lakers head coach Frank Vogel as well and get any updates on that front. How do I describe tonight's game? I don't know if desperation is the right word. You're on a 3-game losing streak. You are really just teetering with a colossal failure to end the first half of the season. And I'm not telling you that 4 games over 500 as they go into the break is an accomplishment, but it is going to feel a little bit different for at least a week and a half or so. Lakers' next game is not until a week from Friday. A little bit of momentum, just something that the Lakers could try to build off of. And for coming back when you're down at 14 at one point, the Utah Jazz, they got a good team. They've been playing some good basketball. They've won 6 games in a row. Donovan Mitchell is one of the premier guards in the NBA, shooting guards in the NBA. And when he gets cooking, it's really, really incredibly tough to stop him. Lakers found a way to do it in the fourth quarter, at least towards the end there. And I can't remember right off the top of my head. I think it was a 19-4 run that the Lakers went on. Fantastic defense, making the Utah Jazz take difficult shots, and then LeBron just taking over the game. Something about where LeBron James was hitting his shots. Something about how LeBron James was attacking, something about LeBron James and Aaron Donald having some type of conversation during the game, and Aaron Donald doing everything he can to help. That was a cool ending of the game. And there hasn't been too many times that at Crypto.com Arena, 6 minutes left to go in the game, and the place is rocking. The place was rocking tonight. Just fantastic. And when you look at how disappointing of a season this has been so far. Anthony Davis, unfortunately, an ankle injury that looks like will have him out for some, obviously some type of time. I don't know how long, but he needed help to get off the court. Again, it looked like, okay, the Lakers are just going to run into another issue, another problem. The Jazz are going to take advantage of them. And that didn't happen tonight. So I thought that the fact that the result tonight was different than a lot of results that we're accustomed to this season, that part to me was incredibly important. Lakers over the Jazz, 106-101. Need a break from the everyday. Fantasy Springs Resort Casino wants to give you a 2-night stay with dinner, golf, or bowling for 2. Be tonight's best caller and win at 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Visit FantasySpringsResort.com to book today. So we'll line up phone calls, and let's give one of these away today. I think tonight would be an appropriate night to do so. Let's take a quick listen here to Lakers head coach Frank Vogel, and then we'll get some phone calls in.
Going down and the life being lived out of the building a little bit, and then LeBron leading the charge back in the fourth.
Yeah, it's very deflating to see AD go down the way he did, and our guys tried to rally the necessary energy to start the second half. But there's an energy that you have to overcome, and there's how are we going to adjust tactically, coverage wise? Our plan has been, with AD in a big minutes role with us and playing around him a lot. So you have to make adjustments, and we came out of the second half a little bit flat, but for all those reasons. But, credit our guys for really hanging in there, and continuing to fight, even when we seemed to be deflated a little bit to start the half. I thought Russell was really good in the timeouts, talking to the guys and just saying, come on, let's go. Let's keep fighting, and keeping everybody engaged. And then, what we saw LeBron do is just remarkable, what he continues to do at this point in his career, to take over a game in the fourth quarter the way he did, with just energy and will and determination was really something special.
On AD, we saw the report that X-rays were negative. But Frank, do you have anything else at this point, and kind of what his spirits are like?
MRI tomorrow, and we'll know more at that point. But I got nothing more on that.
Frank, you talked pregame about what LeBron has been like over these last few days and his level of engagement. But you mentioned it, that fourth quarter when he came in, you guys were down 8 when he checked back in, and it just seemed like everything changed when he got back on the floor. He came in with an intensity. What did you see kind of behind that stretch for him?
Yeah, I mean, he frequently leads with his voice. Tonight was about his action. Just the look in his eyes and the way he was playing, the way he was approaching the defensive end, and again, the engagement that we continue to talk about. Just when he's super locked in, the rest of the group follows. And man, he was something else during that stretch in all the ways we just discussed. And then to be able to be that locked in and deliver, with the shot making and the play making, it's just remarkable. And this is the number 1 offense in the league, and second game in a row we held them around 100 points, largely because of that engagement that we're talking about with Bron. Like, everybody got locked in, and he just made big plays offensively.
So in the moment, this has to be an uplifting thing, but when your brain goes back to Anthony, how are you going to process the period, however long it may be, without
win games till we get them back? That's simple. Can't feel sorry for ourselves. We don't know obviously how long it will be, but we got to win as many games as we can down the stretch, and believe in the group that we have, and hopefully we're able to to get whole as quickly as possible. And like we've been saying all along, like, we have a strong belief in this group. If we're able to stay healthy and stay whole. So, we just got to win as many games as we can during that stretch.
Did you get a chance to see him either at halftime or before you left the arena?
I did, yeah, halftime.
Just anything on how he was doing?
Yeah, just shaking his head about, really everything. Obviously, I'm sure what it felt like, but just being frustrated about, looking like he's going to miss some time again.
Frank, we've been talking about the energy and the spirit of the team post-trade deadline and with the Warriors game. Do you feel like this was an extension of that and a continuation and just sort of seeing the team playing the right way?
I do. I definitely do. I thought we were really connected tonight. And, to me, even more so than the last few days because of the adversity that we faced. It would have been easy to fold the tent, and give in and let go of the rope as Utah was making their run, knowing that we just lost AD. AD was playing out of his mind in the first half. That's the kicker of the whole thing. Like, he comes out and is on fire, and he's playing great. And, then we lose him. So, it's just the season throws adversity at you, and hopefully, this game will be a lesson of what the big picture looks like for our team, overcoming this type of adversity.
Frank, what more does this tell you about the spirit of your group to be so discouraged and then to be encouraged again with the way you guys played in the fourth quarter with LeBron James leading you guys?
Well, first thing it tells me is we got a special player named LeBron James, that has the ability to galvanize any other 4 guys that he has out there with him and go beat the best. What else it tells you is, you had we have a deep team. And, if there's certain guys that may be in or out of the rotation, everybody's going to be needed, in this type of season. And to see Wayne come in and contribute, Bays come in and contribute, Dwight come in and contribute when they had not been in the rotation regularly, those guys were a big part of this W. So we're going to need everybody, and, just thrilled with how our guys responded.
Frank, you hinted at Russ's engagement tonight in the timeouts, and he made some plays in the middle of that fourth that seemed to get the team in, and then obviously has the free throws late. One, how has his engagement shifted or or maybe turned upside down since the trade deadline? And as a coach, is it good for you guys to see that kind of moment for Russ getting the chance to deliver at the end of the game and doing it?
Yeah, I'm certainly happy for him. I don't know if it's just a trade deadline shift. With him, there's ups and downs throughout the season, and I think what we saw tonight is he's got a great care factor. He wants this thing to work at the highest level. He believes, like we all do, like we have a chance to do something special. And the way he played the last two games in particular was really good for us and strengthens our belief.
We have one question on Zoom. Go to Jordan.
Hey, Coach. Wanted to ask you about Austin Reeves and also Taylor Horton-Tucker. In the fourth quarter, they were plus 15 and a plus 17. Made some really good plays defensively that weren't on the stat sheet as well, and just made some big plays overall. Just wanted to get your thoughts on those two.
Yeah, well, first, Taylor's strung together a few games now where he's been spectacular. He didn't score the ball that well tonight. He got, I think his first three shots were grenades with, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. But, he had 4 blocks, really brought a presence to the defensive side of the ball, attacked offensively and made the right play. And, obviously Austin has proven to be a really solid two-way player for us, and someone that has the guts to make a big shot, as we've seen twice now with the shot in Dallas, and obviously the one tonight when the ball swung to him off of LeBron's cut. Those two guys were a big part of the W.
All right, that is Lakers head coach Frank Vogel right there. Let's do this. When we come back, we'll announce tonight's player of the game, plus we'll get a chance to get some callers in here, get your guys' thoughts and reactions on the Lakers' 106-101 comeback win against the Utah Jazz. The phone number is 877-710-ESPN. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on Saturday.
Seconds with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, tacos or burgers?
Burgers.
Pineapple on pizza?
Sometimes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Kung Fu flicks.
Funniest player on the team?
Dwight.
Teammate who thinks he's the funniest player on the team?
Nobody really thinks they funny.
Your favorite superhero?
I'm a Captain America guy.
I mean, you got to match the initials too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Captain America guy.
Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game.
And your reaction on the Lakers line. Powered by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Tonight's player of the game is presented by your Southern California Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Lakers over the Jazz, 106-101. LeBron James played 40 minutes tonight. Dropped 33 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Clutch in that fourth quarter. A big part of the Lakers outscoring the Utah Jazz by 13 points in that fourth quarter. Let's take a couple quick phone calls, and then we'll get a chance to hear from Talen Horn-Tucker. Let's start off with... Let's go to Ken in Newport Beach. Ken, what's going on? Thank you for calling in, bud.
Okay. Heck of a game. First off, I want to talk about Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
The guy doesn't turn the ball over. He's always playing tough defense. He's won 2 games for them. I think it's more than ready for him to be starting and playing more minutes. I think the guy is a phenomenal player for being undrafted. Now, my second point is...
And Ken, let me throw in one thing on that with Reeves. He played 29 minutes tonight. I'm with you. Play him 30 minutes a game. It's not like anybody else on this Lakers roster from some of these role players are consistent enough to where you say, well, Reeves would be taking minutes away from this guy. That's not really the case. What's the other point you want to make?
Okay, this isn't about the Lakers' win-loss percentage this game.
Mm-hmm.
What this is about is the Lakers coming in, AD hurt, and winning a game in the fourth quarter, which they seldom do. And it's great for the team, but I'll tell you what, it's even better for us fans that have been suffering to see them do this with 9 days off. Great job, Lakers.
Appreciate you calling in. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, I was mentioning a little bit earlier in the postgame show that we've done enough games this year. 5 minutes left to go, and the place was rocking at Crypto.com. You need that. You got it. These players need to. A, you want the players to feed off of the crowd, and B, you want the players to give the crowd something to cheer about, and I think that was a combination of the two. You're right, 9 days off. Lakers don't have another game. A week from Friday, I think, is when they play next. All right, can you have something positive that you can talk about over the course of the next week or so? Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. 4 games below 500, that's the reality of the Lakers situation. The Clippers, I think, still have a lead on the Lakers for that 8th place. Lakers sitting in 9th in the West. But at least for one night, you can feel good about the Lakers. You can feel good about the comeback. You can feel good about the fight. There's a lot of things that I think come into it. Let's take another call here. Let's go to Freddie in Woodland Hills. What's going on, Freddie?
Yo, what's up, Flea? Ask Flea. Thanks for taking the call. We just left the game. Man, I'm 38. I've been going to the game since Kobe and Shaq. This was the best game I've seen in person. LeBron at the comeback. Lots of trust in Austin Reeves. I love the way we match up against the Jazz. I think if we catch them in the first round, the stars align. We're looking good. We got the Suns. Come on, we had them last year until AD got hurt, and I know that's the broken record the last 2 years that AD's got to be healthy. But, hey, at least there's some hope and promise. I know we're, like you just said, 4 games under 500, but this is some hope to, a very dark season. So, just go Lakers. Couldn't be more happy.
Freddie, appreciate you calling in. Here's a reality, too, Freddie. I think part of the tough schedule that you have to finish off the rest of the season, it's the second toughest schedule in the NBA. I probably harp on this too much. I want to see them play good teams. How can you really gauge the Lakers because there are times that they look disinterested. Should they be? No, they shouldn't. Should you be respecting the game every single night? Of course you should. But you can't play the Jazz and not be ready. You can't play the Golden State Warriors, which I thought they should have won that game on Saturday, and not be ready. These are the matchups they're going to have the rest of the way. Now, the idea and the thought process is playing these games with Anthony Davis. That obviously hasn't been the case. At least it wasn't the case in the second half, and we'll see how long AD is out for. So that's obviously something that we really got to wait for. Okay, let's take a quick listen here. I want to play Talen Horn-Tucker. So here is THT with Mike Bresnahan of Spectrum Sportsnet.
Talen, a lot of activity out there tonight. Bottom line, you guys got the win. Inspirational fourth quarter by LeBron James. What'd you see out there from him tonight?
He is who he is, so
being on a team with a guy like that, sometimes you have to sit back and watch. I guess, we had to do that tonight, so it was good.
Yeah, and obviously AD left in the second quarter. Did you get a chance to talk to him, see how he's feeling?
Not yet. I'm definitely check up on him, when I leave here. But, it's just crazy to see him go down like that. We hate to see it. Just want him to get better.
Now, obviously, you guys could have sagged a little bit. That did not happen. You came back strong. What was kind of the mindset to seeing you guys pull off the game like that?
Next man up. Just trying to, stay positive throughout everything that's going on, especially with injuries and things like that. So, I feel like we did that.
Aaron Donald, courtside. What was that like for you?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Congrats to them, winning the Super Bowl. It's big for the city. He's a great player, too. So just, having him here is always an extra boost for us. Frank
Vogel just called your play the last few games spectacular. Said, okay, you didn't score a ton tonight, but great defensively, all those block shots. How do you feel about your game right now?
It's a lot of up and downs. I'm still young and just still trying to learn throughout the NBA. Being able to know that not scoring the ball is always good, and just other things that you can do on the floor. So just being able to, kind of settle into that role now is eye-opening for me, and I feel like it'll help me later on in my career.
Ready for the All-Star break?
Oh, yeah. It's a good time to, kind of relax and kind of hit the reset button so we can come back strong and finish.
THC, thanks for the time.
All right, that is Talen Horn-Tucker right there with Mike Bresnahan. I think it's interesting, too, when you look at some of these role players for the Lakers, there is this expectation from Talen Horn-Tucker that we had coming into the season. I think that's tapered off a little bit. You don't really know what to expect every single night. He had 4 blocks in the first half tonight. So even if he's coming out there, and you heard him say it with Brez, got to find ways to impact the game, even if it's not from scoring. And I think that's going to be obviously a key part for THT's development. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Lily in Culver City. What's going on, Lily?
Hi. I've been listening to you guys all day long, and I really enjoyed this game. And I want to tell everyone, please, don't beat Russ up. He will get it together. Have faith. When we see dark clouds, the sunshine is still there. The sun is still there. LeBron showed out. AD go down. Oh, well, we see that all the time. The team came together, and they did it.
Well, it's interesting, Lily, and I appreciate you calling in. Stay on the line here for a quick second. I think there's something about that second half. They could have easily folded up shop. Easily. Listen, I'm not saying the Jazz are going to go win an NBA championship. They're 14, 15 games over 500. They're 4th place in the Western Conference. They missed Gobert and Donovan Mitchell for a number of games. They'd probably be top 3 in the West if it wasn't for those guys being out. And I think the piece about LeBron James that you mentioned there, that when things were down and AD was out and you are playing the Utah Jazz, a good team, and Donovan Mitchell's got it going tonight, they could have easily mailed it in, and they didn't do that. So, Lily, we appreciate you calling in. Congratulations. You are tonight's Fantasy Springs Resort Casino best caller. Just a quick 2-hour drive to the Palm Springs area for championship golf. World-class entertainment, 24-hour Vegas-style gaming, nightclubs, and hotel. Visit FantasySpringsResort.com to book today. So I appreciate you calling in. When we come back, we'll get a chance to hear from Russell Westbrook. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 7.
4 seconds with Trevor Ariza. Trevor, tacos or burgers?
I'm going to go with tacos.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Ooh, peanut butter and jelly.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon growing up?
Animaniacs. Animaniacs.
Funniest player on the team?
Goofiest would be Dwight.
Favorite superhero?
Batman.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is presented by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956, Vista Paint. Points in the Paint tonight. Lakers have the advantage, 52-46, so a 6-point advantage for the Lakers. Lakers over the Jazz, 106-101. Let's take a couple more calls here. By the way, just a quick reminder here, or just a quick update, at best way to put it. You heard Vogel talk about it. Frank Vogel said there will be an MRI on AD's ankle tomorrow, but there's no more information until then, aside from the earlier report that the X-rays were negative. So we're just going to have to wait on this AD news. If there's one positive here, first of all, the X-rays were negative. That's number one. The other positive would be that 8-9 days are going to go by before they have another game, and then we'll have to wait and see what they say on Anthony Davis. Let's go to Matt and Camarillo. Matt, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Alan, thanks for taking my call, man.
Got it, man.
So AD might be out, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks. How do we keep our head above water right now? Because it seems bleak, but at the same time, I still think that Frank is very smart and we can make some adjustments. What would you personally do? And also, can we fix the Lakers' gold uniforms back to how they used to be? Maybe that's just me.
One step at a time. One step at a time. Thank you for calling in, Matt. Look, I think how do the Lakers stay above water? Listen, maybe tonight LeBron was able to just carry them. Hey, just get on my back, and I'm going to finish this game. But the reality is, to win the way this team is built, you got to have Anthony Davis. You have to. So if he's out, I don't want to make assumptions of how long he's out for, but we know there's 24 games left in the season. In the month of March, there's 16 games. We still got 2 weeks left of April, which only has 2 more games left. And then you got the month of March, like I mentioned, 16 games, and before you know it, it's playoff time. I think you're going to have to see Dwight Howard play more. I think Dwight would be the answer, in my opinion. And then just try to surround the Lakers with shooters for LeBron to have some options and some weapons they could kick the ball out to, and hope LeBron continues to do what he's done all season long, which is be amazing. Beyond that, it's going to be an incredibly tough challenge. Again, much better that they won this game. They could ride some momentum. They played really well against the Golden State Warriors on Saturday. I wouldn't have been shocked or surprised that the Lakers had been 2-0 in these final 2 games against 2 quality teams. And we know the rest of the way Lakers have a ton of quality teams that they're going to have to face. Russell Westbrook, 2 clutch free throws at the end of the game to give the Lakers a 4-point lead. Here's Russ on the Lakers' 106-101 win.
Hey, Russ, Frank had mentioned that during timeouts and stuff, you were trying to keep everybody's spirits up and kind of heads engaged. How did you guys find a way to get past that, the emotional situation it must have been with AD going down?
It's just difficult, but part of my job is I feel like one of my strengths is leadership and staying with it. So I like to make sure do a better job during timeouts, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what happened. Staying positive, bringing positive energy, and keeping our spirits moving in the right direction.
What were you noticing the most during that final 6 minutes? You guys were down 12 with like 6:30 to go or something.
Just stuck with it, defended. We defended at a great rate, scored. They're number 1 offense in the league. They scored 22 points in the fourth. Did a good job of getting stops on demand. Played with pace on the offense end, which was great for us as well.
Russ, as you leave here, go into the All-Star break, what's the balance of kind of the short-term boost that you guys get from what was obviously a really incredible win tonight, and then also the longer-term reality that if you are not going to have AD for a certain number of games going forward, that is a big negative for you guys?
Yeah, it's a good combo of both, but we know it's been like this for us all year, unfortunately. The most important part is making sure AD is healthy and his spirits are right. And hopefully it's not that bad and he'll be back, as soon as he's ready. But until then, we got to hold it down. Guys got to step up, be ready to play. Like tonight, guys did it in the spur of the moment, and it was good for us.
Even with knowing that the AD news is tough for us, what does this win do for, do you think, you personally and anyone else that in that locker room, just to be able to win a game and take that into the 9 days off?
It's good, man. It's great, especially when you win with, a good team that's been together for some time, and it just shows we're making growth throughout the game. We stuck with it, stuck with our principles, defended, did a great job of just having each other's back, for the entire. Good to see, that from our group.
Will you be going to Cleveland for the gathering of the 75?
No, probably not. But that is to be determined. My mom's birthday is on Sunday, so,
Balancing concerns there.
For sure.
A lot of guys describe uncertainty and things leading up to the trade deadline. You talked about your role as a leader and staying with games. Is it easier to assert yourself now that there's a lot of certainty about the roster and the deadline has passed?
I just think how we play is a little different than we played a little before, and once I'm in position to do things and on the floor to help win games, that's all that matters. Because ultimately, all the numbers and stats and all that stuff don't really mean nothing. You don't win. And for me, I want to make sure that I'm playing the right way, playing good basketball for the betterment of my team, and that's all I can worry about.
Can you articulate what you mean by playing different basketball?
Yeah, we're playing different. A lot more kick aheads. We're not playing it slow. Last two games, we're playing a lot faster. Our wings are running, doing a good job of cutting, including myself, just moving the ball and putting people in positions where they can be successful. And I think we've done a better job of that last two games of just allowing, the guys and using our weapons the right way and making sure that we continue to do that for 48 minutes regardless of what's going on. And it's, to me, I've seen a change in how we play and our pace and, different things of that nature.
Russ, what more does it tell you about this group that you guys can be so discouraged when AD goes down? You find a way to overcome that and win an important game?
It just shows resiliency. You got a group of guys that, all been through so many different things in their careers. And when a talent like AD goes down, it's difficult to be able to overcome right away. But, our group in our locker room stuck with it, stuck together, fought through the adversity, and found a way to come out to win.
All right, that's Russell Westbrook right there. Let's go to the King when we come back. Stay here with us. We'll get a chance to hear from LeBron James, get his thoughts on the game, get his thoughts on the interaction with Aaron Donald during the game, and the comeback win over the Utah Jazz. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710.
With Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, tacos or burgers?
Burgers.
Pineapple on pizza?
Sometimes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Kung Fu flicks.
Funniest player on the team?
Dwight.
Teammate who thinks he's the funniest player on the team?
Nobody really thinks they funny.
Your favorite superhero?
I'm a Captain America guy.
I mean, you got to match the initials too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Captain America guy.
Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Powered by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Lakers over the Utah Jazz 106-101. Lakers don't play another home game. Don't play another game until a week from Friday, so they'll have the All-Star break. Certainly for the Lakers, it will be a time you thought everybody can kind of get healthy and everything else, but Anthony Davis will have to wait. He'll have an MRI tomorrow, so we'll see the severity. Hopefully nothing too bad. The only good news is the X-ray did come back negative. And the other piece of this is just the mere fact that they're going to have 8-9 days off before they get another game, so we'll see what happens from there. Let me squeeze in a couple quick calls here, and then we'll go to LeBron James. Let's go to Mo in San Diego. Mo, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Always good to talk to you, Alan.
Thank you, man.
I look at these games and so many of these games that we've lost, and I look at the scoring or the statistical categories. We've lost a lot of games in which we've had multiple poor statistical categories. In other words, you look at the Portland game, okay, a team that's very young and had traded all their stars off or have them injured, and we had 21 turnovers. We also missed double-digit free throws, and we got outscored by 20 in the paint. And then we lost by like 3 points. I don't know, I can't remember the score, but it was really close. And I look at these games, and it's like, we're not asking for the team to be great every night, okay? Before we even get to that point, can we just not have 3 categories in which we are below,
They
great?
shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, Mo, no question about it. They definitely do. You gave the example about the Portland Trailblazers game. I don't know what's going on in Portland, but they beat the Lakers, the Knicks, the Bucks, and then today on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies. The game against the Bucks was at Milwaukee as well, so maybe they're catching lightning here, and all of a sudden the Blazers are a good team. Not that I'm being serious when I say that, but I know what you're referring to. When you're a team that you got no margin for error, you're already struggling. You're not a team that's walking out and can sit back and say, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. If you're missing your free throws, if you're committing too many turnovers, or you're giving up too many offensive rebounds, you're getting dominated in the paint or fast break points, you're right. You can't have 3-4 different categories where you're struggling in. Fortunately for the Lakers tonight, LeBron James just said, I'm going to take over this game, and I thought the Lakers' defense was solid there in the fourth quarter. Let's take a quick listen. Here's LBJ on the Lakers' win over the Jazz.
LeBron, how do you balance the emotions of seeing AD go down like that, and you get to the second half and find that moment of resilience, down 12 with about 6 minutes left? How does that process go for you as a leader emotionally?
Obviously, sickening to see AD go down in that fashion. Hope he's fine. Obviously, I know he's not like great, but it's just, obviously his health is most important for him individually, for our ball club. And, I've seen it too many times, obviously. So I just wish him the best. And just let the game need to be played at the end of the day. And I still have to make plays and to try to help us win. I was able to do that.
Of course, we saw you at the Super Bowl a couple of days ago. Aaron Donald is courtside. There were a couple of moments, it seemed like, where you're going over there. What were you drawing from him? What did you see from him as he's celebrating and flexing as you're going into the paint? How did that play?
He's the greatest defensive player I've ever seen play the sport. And I say him and Lawrence Taylor, but I didn't get an opportunity to see Lawrence Taylor play. He's the greatest defensive player I've ever seen. Before I started watching Aaron, I always thought it was Ed Reed or Palomalu. But Aaron Donald's the greatest I've ever seen on that side of the floor. But, obviously just being here and watching him over the last few years, just seeing how he's able to dominate a game, not only with one guy on him, 2 guys on him, 3 guys. You get a running back chipping him sometimes, and he's still able to get to the quarterback, get to the running back. And obviously the Super Bowl, those last two plays was spectacular that he made, stopping the third and three by getting the tackle on the guy, and then the 4th and 1 being able to get to the backfield and make Burrow and throw an ill-advised pass. But for him to come here, I mean, obviously he had the parade and that looked amazing. Like those guys had a great time, and for him to just take time out of his day to come here and watch us play. I just try to take the inspiration from what he was able to accomplish over the last few days.
LeBron, what do you think is replicable from tonight, whether it be X's and O's wise or determination wise or spirit wise, from the comeback that you can use as a group for whatever period of time moving forward where you don't have AD?
Well, I feel like I said on Saturday, I mean, obviously we weren't able to close that game out, but I loved our effort, I loved our energy, and I loved our spirit and how connected we were. And I felt the same way tonight. Obviously, it took the sails out of us for quite a while when AD went out, especially with the game that he was having up until that point. So it took us a minute to kind of recalibrate and get some bounce back after that. But we closed the third quarter out, in good fashion. Was able to turn around in the fourth and grab the lead and close the game out.
LeBron, Russ said that he feels like the last couple of games you guys have been playing faster, getting out transition more and more kick aheads and just movement and cutting. What's been the key to that, and what does it allow for you guys when you're getting out transition so much?
Well, it starts with getting stops. One, it allows us to play with good pace. But even when teams score, we've been doing a good job of just getting the ball in, getting up the floor, and then seeing what we can do after that. Let's get up the floor. If we get some easy ones, then let's take advantage of it. If not, then at least we're not working against the shot clock. We're still giving ourselves 14, 15, 16 seconds to go get through a set and things of that nature. So it definitely helps out a lot.
LeBron, I'm guessing the answer is no, but have you ever been through a season like this, and how are you processing all of this?
No. And it's just day to day. Just day to day.
Frank was saying that Russ was really impactful in timeouts and trying to provide vocal leadership, and obviously made some plays in the fourth along with you. What have you kind of seen about his engagement level since the trade deadline and the roster kind of solidifying?
I mean, he's been the same for me all year. That's just the ship that I have with him. I mean, we're all human, so we all have our ups and downs and things of that nature, but it's been the same all year for me.
Last question,
Bron, did you have a chance to talk to AD at halftime, and is there anything from a message he gave you guys going back out there, or anything that you shared with him that that you could share with us about kind of where he's at?
Where is he at?
Mentally.
Well, I don't know. We didn't talk about that, but I saw him at halftime, and I hated to see him in that fashion. Anytime you see a guy with crutches, it's not a good sign. So, and the good thing is he'll be a lot better when we come back than he is tonight. No matter where he is, he'll be better a week from today. When we all come back, or when those guys come back. I won't be back yet. Time heals all, and like I said, it's an unfortunate play, unfortunate event, and he'll get back, obviously as soon as he can, but nothing to rush.
All right, that's the King, LeBron James, right there. 106-101, the final score. Lakers over the Jazz. So, a couple things to point out here. As always, appreciate everybody internally here. Michael Funches, Rebecca Womble, Wilbert Flores, Carlos Saisu, and Laura Romo. We don't have another game here for a little bit, so Lakers will not play again until February 25th. That's a game against the Los Angeles Clippers. That will be a Laker home game. So a week from Friday, pregame will start at 5:30, tip-off at 7 o'clock. I'm back on tomorrow morning with Travis Rogers, so we'll get our show started 10 a to 1 p.m. Certainly talk about everything from a Laker perspective. We'll continue to hit on the Rams and their parade from earlier today. And as far as tomorrow morning goes as well, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., Keyshawn J. Will and Max. You could listen to that as well. Lakers, big comeback win over the Jazz. They will go into the All-Star break 4 games below 500, 9th place in the Western Conference. But tonight was really a fantastic comeback for the Lakers, and as soon as we hear anything on the AD front, we'll pass it on to everybody else. Thank you for being a part of the show. I'm Alan Sliwa. This has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Thank you for listening to Lakers basketball tonight. Game 58 of the season is in the books.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 Subaru dealer in America. Lakers basketball.
Delivered by the new Spicy Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut. A fiery fusion with layers of flavor. Only at Pizza Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com. Lakers basketball is brought to you by Alignment Health Plan. Alignment. Changing healthcare one person at a time.
Up next for the purple and gold, the NBA All-Star break in Cleveland. Lakers need the break and will be back next Friday night against the Clippers on your home for Lakers basketball. 710 ESPN.